Welcome back to the channel. Today I've brought much awaited mind map of the poem Roadside Stand by Robert Frost. In 15 pointers I'll be discussing the mind map and I'll be taking up little devices after that. So you must need to remember that mind map, it is for quick revision. You cannot replace the detailed explanation of anything with mind maps. So now for detailed explanation I have given the link in the description box. You can go check the playlist and watch the detailed explanation of this poem. So now move on to the mind map. So here are 15 pointers of the mind map. So in the beginning, the poet tells us about a new but shabby shed that has come up. And the poet says that this new shed, it is in front of the old house. A farmer, a country man has put up this shed because he wants to sell his produce and in return he wants some city money. So it is at the edge of the road from which the city traffic passes. So the customers, they are city dwellers and they pay no attention to this roadside stand. So the farmer almost pleads for customers and he doesn't want any food in return. He doesn't want bread or charity or alms in return. What he wants money. He wants cash in return of his produce. So these country people, they want some cash, some money in return of their produce. The city money, now why they want that? Because city money is equivalent to city development. And the country people, they also want the same. So poet tells us that this country, it has always been ignored by the city. So whatever kind of development is there in the city that doesn't reach countryside. So therefore, these people feel that city money is actually leading to cities development and they also want same kind of money for the development of the village. So city money has supported city. It doesn't let it wither and sink or decline in standards and these people, they also want the same. So city people, but they are preoccupied. So city people, they are busy in their own things, maybe while they are passing in the car. So they are thinking about their destination, they are thinking about meetings ahead, they are thinking about other things and they rarely look at that roadside stand. So these sophisticated people with their minds preoccupied don't even pay attention to the roadside stand. So RS I have used for roadside stand, and if they do, then they complain. So these people, they complain when they look at that shabby roadside stand that has been put up there by the farmer. So they complain. They're upset. They scorn at that roadside stand. Why? Because they think that the beauty of the landscape has been spoiled by it. The poor paint. Then they complain about the signs N and S that are wrongly placed. So what is actually on display? The poet then tells us that what the vendor, what the farmer is selling. The farmer sells wild berries in wooden containers, golden squash, not of good quality, maybe golden squash with silver warts, so not of good quality, and some mountain scenery. So he sells all these things, but city people, they're not interested in this, which makes the farmer angry. So the farmer, he feels that if you have money, so keep that money with you when you don't have a compassionate heart. So the angry farmer are city dwellers. CD I've used for city dwellers to keep their money with them only. So he says that he won't complain about the scenery, rather about the broken trust and promises. So farmer says that he would never complain about the scenery, that the scenery has been spoiled with his roadside stand. Rather, he would complain about the broken promises. So he feels that these city dwellers in whom he had placed his trust, that he'll put up a roadside stand there and he will put up his produce there and these city dwellers, they will buy his produce, and like that some of the money would flow into his hand. And he feels when city dwellers, they do not buy his produce, so he feels that his promise, the trust, it has been broken. So he says that rather he would complain about broken promises. Now he wants what the farmer wants. Farmer wants some city like comforts, but those comforts have been denied. So who has denied those comforts? So these country people, or this farmer, he wants some money in his hand. He wants to feel some money to bring some comforts in his life, like the ones he has seen in certain movies. But these political leaders, the people in governance, they have stopped it from reaching them. Why they have stopped it from reaching them? Because they have their own selfish motives. And one motive is the news of encroachment. The poet talks about the recent news of encroachment. So what are they planning? What are these city people planning? So they plan of encroaching the land of city or these rural people. Why? To build malls, theatre, and they want to give them compensation. They want to lure them by showing them money, by giving them compensation. So these farmers, they will be lured and they won't be able to think as unrealistic benefits would be shown. So these people, these innocent people, they won't be able to think that why such a huge amount of money is being offered to us. They'll be shown that they'll be building up malls there, they'll be building up theaters there, and then they can enjoy city like life. But these innocent people doesn't know, they won't be able to realize the real motive behind it. So these greedy good doers, these beneficent beasts who will portray themselves as their well-wishers are actually not the well-wishers of country people. So they are luring people. Because of it, these people, these innocent country people who are in the habit of working hard during the day, they'll become lazy and they will sleep throughout the day. So it is going to numb their reasoning, it'll make them lazy, they'll sleep throughout the day and they forget their ancient way. Now, what is the ancient way? The ancient way is to work during the day, to earn a living, and then sleep peacefully at night. But because of so much money in their hand, these people, they'll stop working. So their ancient way, they are going to forget it. Then the poet talks about the sad eyes, the farmer who is sitting at his roadside stand waiting for the customers. He's looking out of the window that maybe someone would stop there and buy his produce. So he is sad. So he can hardly bear, the poet can hardly bear to see the hopes of these people being dashed. So the sad farmer keeps looking out of the window in the hope that someone would stop. He almost prays one car, at least one car, to stop out of the thousands cars that are passing from there, but no one stops. But then the poet says, if one stops, a few cars they do stop, but then they stop for some other purpose. So for what purpose they stop there if not for buying things? So one stops but to take a U-turn, and in doing so, that car spoils the grass that is in front of that stand. Then another stops to ask for directions. And the height is when one stops to ask for a gallon of gas. Now, this makes the farmer angry. So he feels that why couldn't these people see that I'm not selling gas? I'm selling things that are on display. So why can't they come and buy those things? So this makes the farmer angry. Then the poet says, as if the poet is pained to see their condition, so he says that I want their pain to come to an end. But what is the solution? So he doesn't find any solution nearby. Or so what the poet feels, he feels that at one stroke, only if he can bring their pain to an end. So the country has never seen a similar kind of development as in the city. So this is the complaint of the country people. They haven't seen the same kind of development as it is there in the city. And this is the regular and continuous complaint of the country people. Not able to see their pain, the poet therefore wishes that their pain could be numbed in a stroke. So he is actually pointing out that euthanasia. So euthanasia, it is given to those people who are suffering from terminal incurable diseases. And the poet here finds that this is a incurable condition because he doesn't seem to find any durable solution to this problem. So therefore, he suggests this, that their pain, it should be numbed in a stroke. He wants to do that because he cannot see the pain of these people who had put up their stand with no buyers there. But then the poet feels that this is not a sane solution. This is not a kind of solution that should be suggested. So the poet He feels that what would happen if someone, he realizes the next day that how would he feel if someone would suggest the same kind of solution to him for his problem. So therefore, the poet leaves it to future developments. The poet feels that since he would not like such a solution for himself, he leaves it open-ended and he doesn't see any solution yet. But then he hopes for some solution soon. So the poet ends on an optimistic note where the poet feels that maybe in future some kind of solution it will come up and these country people will also enjoy city-like comforts. So this is the mind map, 15 pointers of the mind map for your quick revision. Now we will be doing literary devices. So quickly move on to literary devices, but before that, this is the video of Roadside Stand where I've given theme, I've discussed line by line explanation. So you watch this video because detailed explanation cannot replace a mind map. So literary devices now. And also the checklist that I talked about. So the playlist is there for class 12. You will find mind maps in that playlist, explanations, writing section. I've covered all and important questions from examination point of view. So before that, do subscribe to the channel, like the video so that I keep on posting such videos. So it is really, really motivating when you subscribe and you like the video. So the literary devices now. So the first literary device that I am going to discuss is antithesis. So in the line, the little old house was out with a little new shed. So here the word old and here the word new, old and new, contrasting ideas in same line, so that is antithesis. Then personification, a roadside stand that too pathetically pled, so pled here, pleading, a roadside stand pleading, so that is personification. We have alliteration here in the same line, so per and per here, pathetically pled. Now personification continues in the next line that we have the sadness that lurks near the open window there. So sadness lurking. So again, it is personified here. Metaphor, the flower of a city is from being sinking and withering fame. So flower of cities, actually it is the development. So the flower here, it is pointing to the development. So that is why it is metaphor. Then next here, metaphor we have, so much as the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. So as I said, this trusting sorrow here, it stands for broken promises. So it is broken promises, so that is why it is metaphor. So we have done these 4 literary devices here. Antithesis, personification, alliteration, and metaphor. Now alliteration, I'm not going to discuss alliteration wherever it is there in the poem because there are so many. So you can find examples of alliteration on your own. Now next move on. Now trusting sorrow, actually it can also be personification. So trust, it is a human quality. So that is why it is personification also. Now next slide. Transferred epithet. Now transferred epithet you will find in this line. Polished traffic. So traffic, it is actually not polished here. So what this word polished then stands for? It stands for sophisticated city people. Sophisticated, don't mind my handwriting. Sophisticated city people. So that is polished. Then in the next line, all the 1,000 selfish cars. Now cars, they cannot be selfish. So here again the city dwellers, they are these people who are traveling. They are selfish. So therefore transferred epithet. Then we have oxymoron. Now oxymoron here, greedy, good doers. So greedy and good doers, contrasting ideas, contrasting words. And then beneficent beasts, again contrasting. So therefore oxymoron. Then swarm over their lives enforcing benefits. So this is the same line actually. Now next is repetition. So here I don't have any oxymoron. This line is continuous with the previous line. Now repetition. Now here again the word little and here again the word little, we have repetition. So there are other examples of repetition. So you can find those examples on your own. Then 8, we have alliteration. Again, few examples I've given, but again, you will find many other examples of alliteration. So party in power, per sound here. So greedy, good doers, g sound here. Beneficent, peace here, b sound. Then for the squeal of a brakes, the sound of stopping. So squeal and stopping here. This is again alliteration. Then assonance. So again, I have taken just one example of an assonance, but then there are many. So if, it, will, I sound here. So this is I, prominent sound here is this vowel sound. So that is why it is assonance. So you can find other examples also. Next, anaphora. So anaphora in these two lines, the, it's beginning from the, and these two lines it is or. So that is why anaphora. Here we have anaphora. Onomatopoeia, the squeal of brakes. So this is onomatopoeia, the sound. So these are the literary devices. So I have covered all the literary devices, and now I hope that the poem, the mind map, and the literary devices, they are clear. And do subscribe to the channel before going so that I keep on posting and uploading such videos. And happy preparation to all of you. Bye for now.